Welcome people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma, it's Monday and it's another collection. So we have the in-depth collection part 17. So thank you all for sticking with me. Obviously I know this is quite a daunting task when I did look at it, trying to go 2 shelves at a time. But yeah, we are doing quite well. I'd probably say we're about a third of the way through, give or take. But I'm not going to beat around the bush, so let's get more into it. So we left off the last part with Hotel Transylvania, so we'll get back into the new set. So obviously what follows Hotel Transylvania, but Hotel Transylvania 2 and 3. We have seen the last one, but I don't think I owned that. Then Hotel Transylvania is not too bad. Kind of fun movies from Adam Sandler. Hot Shots, the classic Charlie Sheen comedy. Haven't seen this in a long time. Remember liking it. And then obviously Hot Shots Part 2 Sealed. This is the one I watched a lot as a kid. I loved him firing the chicken and that. Very, very silly stuff. I remember with the fighting with the sweets and that. The Hottie and the Nottie, Paris Hilton in a what is classed as a comedy, but yeah, it's not the greatest movie. Hot Tub Time Machine, absolutely love this movie. Obviously, big John Cusack fan. Don't have the second one. I'm not quite sure if they actually released it in the UK. Then we have Hours, a Paul Walker movie. I believe it's set against time. There's a disaster and his wife is in a medical building and he has to go get help. Oh, and I'm making a mess of this. So then we have Mr. House, Season 1. Season 2 is in bits because the box got damaged, unfortunately. Then we have Season 3, love this series. Hugh Laurie, absolutely amazing in this role. It took me a fair while to actually get round to re-watching it to watch the series, because I watched like the first 6 or 7 series, and I always missed I missed watching the last Season 8, and I finally got around to watch it. I did quite like it. It wasn't the best ending, but I think with the actors leaving and the kind of situation House was left in, I think there was no other outcome. Yeah, it's good to all see the interns and stuff. And then we move on to Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. Watch this with my friends. Really like this. A little bit of horror for the collection. Then we have House of Flying Daggers, martial art film. You know I love martial arts. Really good. House on the Haunted Hill. One of the first kind of movies I believe I got, probably within the first 100 movies when I was like late 20s. No, not late teens, sorry. One I got recently because it was hyped up, House Party. I didn't think, Kid and Play. I didn't think too much to it, but maybe because I was watching it a lot later. Then we have House of Wax, another Paris Hilton film. I did quite like. So I do quite like the box art to this, the kind of embossed. It was alright horror film as movies go. Then we have Howard the Duck. Obviously, Marvel fans. I do like this. Never watched it really back in the day. I don't remember watching it, but I do like it when I rewatched it. Then How Do You Know? I have watched this. Can't really remember it that much, but obviously it wasn't that memorable. Then we have the How I Met Your Mother Season 1. Oh, as I'm throwing stuff and knock down a street shark. Season 2 there. Then we have 3. Oh yeah, Britney Spears. 4, really liked this, all except the last series. I'm sure a lot of people out there. I mean, it had a format, it had a style. I don't know why they just didn't keep Season 9 as a full series, not chronologically do it over 2 days, because you just didn't get to meet Ted's wife, and obviously there she is at the end, and then obviously what happens to her and everything is a bit lackluster. How I Spent My Summer Vacation, Mel Gibson. I do like Mel Gibson movies. Not seen it, as you see, the 50p again when CX did cheap DVDs. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Really like this back in the day, Matthew McConaughey. and Kate Hudson. How to Lose Friends and Alienate People. This isn't a very good movie, unfortunately. It's got an okay cast, but yeah, I don't think the story and everything worked that well for me. Then one of my favourite animated series is How to Train Your Dragon, Loveless from DreamWorks. I hear they're going to make a live action movie as well. Number 2. And then obviously number 3, The Hidden World. And obviously I did buy some of the series, so I think this is a special one. Oh, like the special I did. And then obviously Riders of the Break, part 1. And part 2, never got round to watching it, as a series unfortunately get backed up a little bit for me. Hudson Hawk, I didn't mind this one. Been a long time since I watched this as well. Andy McDowell, is that? Looks a bit like Andy McDowell. Human Traffic, obviously all about drugs in the 90s and stuff. A bit all over the place, but I did quite like it. Hustlers. And quite an all-star cast here. Obviously Paul Walker there. Right, looking, yeah, it's a bit of a chaotic one. It doesn't really, again, bring too many memories to mind. So that's if I have watched it. Is it? It might. Oh no, it's not sealed. So maybe I have seen it then, or maybe I've not. I Am Legend. Obviously everyone's heard of this, and they're thinking of doing a sequel one. I did really like this. I Am Number 4. I didn't mind this as a start of a franchise. It could have been better, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, it never made it off the ground. I Am Omega, so Mark Dacascos there, a big fan of him and his martial arts. It was alright. I Am Sam, I actually really like this. I only got to watching this last year. I know there was a lot of controversy over Sean Penn playing the character he does, but I thought he did a really good job. I think if we start saying actors can't act as someone else, and it's a bit pointless of them being actors, really, isn't it, or actresses. Obviously Ice Age 1, as you see, there's a lot of a franchise, but it's Ice Age 2, Ice Age 3, and then Continental Drift, Ice Age 4. I think, is there a 5? I've probably not got that. I Could Never Be Your Woman, Michelle Pfeiffer and Paul Rudd. I quite like this movie. Did watch it like 5 years ago, rom-com, and it's a good old talk show host, Graham Norton. Identity, obviously a big John Cusack fan, really like this film, like the concept, like the execution, keeps you guessing most of the way through, thought it was very ingenious. Yeah, it's funny when you rewatch it and you see how many actually famous people are in it and have little roles. Identity Theft, I know a lot of people aren't Melissa McCarthy's fan. I actually thought this was quite a good movie. I do like Jason Bateman. I think it was quite a good pairing of them. Idiocracy, rated back in the day, I thought it was an okay switch your brain off and watch, but nothing amazing. And that's someone beeping the horn outside. That's always fun when you're doing a video. Idle Hands, Jessica Alba. I only watched this back in the day, but I really liked it. And then we have I Don't Know How She Does It, Pierce Brosnan, Sarah Jessica. Yeah, I thought it was okay. Not the greatest. One I did actually like, I know Amy Schumer, she's a kind of a, love her or take her. I thought it's quite good where she does the accident and then thinks she's really pretty, kind of self-empowering. Apologies for all the beeping in the background. Some bloke doesn't know how to use a horn properly. Frankenstein, it was okay, good concept. I do like Aaron Eckhart, but yeah. Give it a year. Again, another film. It's very interesting how they go about it. I say it wasn't a standout to me. Igor, obviously John Cusack voices Igor. This is part of the reason why I've got it, and I love animated movies. It's basic running your meal. Unfortunately, it doesn't really have anything standing out. I Heart Huckabees, very weird and out there film, I will put it this way. You can kind of see the front of how the distorted pictures and stuff. Yeah, expect a lot of unusual stuff to happen. I Hate Valentine's Day, obviously from My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
I didn't mind this. I was quite late to the party. I think I've got my Big Fat Greek Wedding. I'm not entirely sure, actually. No, I don't think I even own that movie. But yeah, if I've even seen it, but these are the two main cast. I thought it was all right. In Bruges, I'm sure a lot of people can quote this and a lot of the funny stuff that comes out from it. I thought it was quite a good movie. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't have the original. I Know What You Did Last Summer, funny enough. But yeah, as you see, it was very cheap, so I picked it up. I Love You, Beth Cooper, obviously Hayden Panettiere. Kind of ran a time of heroes and stuff, so I did get this. I did thought it was alright. I Love You, Man. Me and my mate love this one, slapping your bass and stuff. And I thought this was actually a really good movie. Very like a kind of different take on a movie that you haven't really seen. You know, Jathan Seeger and Paul Rudd when they did their acting stuff at Imperium. I have not seen it, so I cannot. Daniel Craig in a very different role. Daniel Radcliffe, even, not Daniel Craig. In and Out, love this film. Kevin Kline. Yeah, he's a teacher, and then he gets outed that he's gay, and he's just about to get married, and then it's kind of him, is he or isn't he? Inception, absolutely love this movie. It's one of Christopher Nolan's favourites in my eyes. Then we have Independence Day again, and Will Smith movie, you know, classic. The really disappointing in Resurrection. Did it really even need it? Then we have especially The Adventures of Indiana Jones, so the first three movies, all there with some bonus features. Then, like most people, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Will I get the fifth one? Maybe, maybe not. In Dreams, I watched this one recently. I thought it was okay. It's a little strange in places, I thought. Then we have Infernal Affairs. This is a martial arts film. I've not seen it, so I can't talk about it. And I have number 2, and I've not seen that one either. There's a sticker on it. Then we have Inglourious Bastards. Not seen this one either, so I can't really comment on this one. I am lacking a little bit on the movie watching. Injustice, really liked this one. This was kind of a Chris Evans one before getting the Captain America role. It is based on a true story. It is very about a lawyer and trying to kind of tackle a big issue. It's funny that he has star of Captain America when Captain America wasn't even out when he got this role. Inkheart, Brendan Fraser, kind of kids sci-fi fantasy movie. I thought it was alright. Obviously Andy Serkis there as the bad guy. Immortals, it was okay from what I can remember. It didn't stick too much in my head. Inhale, I can't remember too much about this. I think he needs to get his daughter an operation and he has to go through. And we have Initial D based off the anime. I think I did quite like this as a Driving It Snow, Fast and Furious, but it is quite suited for its material, I thought. Martin Short and Inner Space, love this movie back in the day. I've not watched it in a long time. I think I really need to give this a watch. Then I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, obviously a big Adam Sandler fan with Kevin James there. And the final one for this video, In Plain Sight Season 1.
And there we go. So that is part 17. Hope you're enjoying this series. As I say, it comes out most Mondays. Otherwise, yeah, if you've got any comments on anything you feel like I do different on that, please do let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time, and I shall see you in the next one.